New at 4.5 million New Englanders are expected to travel over the next 2 weeks for the holidays. With more drivers on the roads, there's growing concern about an increase in crashes and DUI incidents. So joining me today to talk driver safety, we have North Kingstown Police Lieutenant and head of the Rhode Island DUI Task Force as well, Donald Barrington. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with talking about Christmas being on a Wednesday.
Yes.
That obviously creates kind of more travel time for people both before the holiday and after the holiday. So how does that affect police patrols overall?
The holiday period is concerning as it is because, like, Christmas parties, like, you know, it's not on the weekend where it's a definitive day. We have Christmas parties that are like on Mondays now, Tuesday now, Wednesday now. They're every day. And that makes it a little more challenging because, you know, we're kind of spread thin and there's a lot of parties, a lot of different places.
So what's typically the worst day for you guys when it comes to DUIs and crashes? Is it, you know, the day before Christmas, or is it usually at the peak travel time?
It's usually at the peak travel time. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. It can happen at any time. But with the increase of the holiday seasons and people out having parties and getting together, celebration, you know, unfortunately they make some bad decisions sometimes and get behind the wheel. I'm
sure New Year's Eve is a big day.
New Year's Eve is big. But again, it stays that whole week. You know, we look at it, you know, the Monday of this coming up, you know, through New Year's. You know, people are off, people are on vacation, people are getting together before Christmas, after Christmas, New Year's. So, you know, and they partake in drinking, and that, unfortunately, that's when things happen.
Have you seen any specific trends over the past 4 years around the holidays?
Unfortunately, it's pretty consistent. You know, I often say this to people, it's good people making bad decisions. You know, no one, you know, goes out in the evening and said, hey, I'm going to drink tonight and I'm going to, you know, get into an accident and kill somebody, you know. It's just, you know, they have diminished capacity. They don't really realize what they're doing until, unfortunately, it's too late.
Of course, marijuana is legal in Rhode Island, which wasn't always the case. Have you seen an increase in incidents since that happened with, you know, drivers being impaired behind the wheel and alcohol not being the reason? That
is definitely a challenge that law enforcement has. There's kind of a stereotype that people think, hey, I can't drink and drive, but I can, you know, I can smoke marijuana or I can ingest something else. And that simply isn't the case. If you're impaired, you're impaired. And we have different tests, we have different ways of handling people who are under the influence of marijuana. But just because you smoked marijuana doesn't mean you're safe or it's legal to drive a vehicle. So what's your message overall for drivers this year who do plan on going out for the holidays and, you know, perhaps having a drink? Just have a plan, you know, and that's really where we find the biggest problems happen is someone goes out and they don't have a plan in place and they start drinking too much, and then they 9 times out of 10 they don't realize that they've been drinking too much until it's too late. You know, there's really no excuses to get behind a wheel and, you know, impaired. There's ride shares, you know, you can stay where you're at, you can, you know, phone a friend, you know, get a cab. There's really no legitimate reason to get behind the wheel impaired. All right, Lieutenant Barrington, thank you so much for joining us ahead of the holidays to talk about this. We appreciate it. My pleasure. Thank you.